All right, thank you.
Yeah, your brother's gonna die out in the fish.
Destiny Rumley was only 21 years old when her life came to a sudden and violent end. At an age when many people are still learning who they are and how they want to move through the world, Destiny was already carrying the weight of adulthood in a very real way. She was a mother, and her child was at the center of her life. Everything she did, every decision she made, was shaped by the responsibility of caring for her baby and trying to create some sense of stability. On the outside, Destiny's life did not look like something that would end in a news alert or a police press conference. She was living day by day, like so many young women do, trying to balance relationships, responsibilities, and the pressure that comes with growing up too fast. She was navigating adulthood while also learning how to be a parent, which is not easy even in the best circumstances. That changed on the morning of December 30th in East Haven, Connecticut. Inside an apartment building on Old Foxen Road, a situation unfolded that would take Destiny's life and leave her child without a mother. By the end of the morning, her family would be left trying to understand how everything went so wrong so quickly. According to police, the first signs of trouble began just after 8 in the morning, when multiple people inside the apartment complex called 911. Neighbors reported hearing a man attacking a woman in the hallway, and they could tell that the situation was serious and that the woman was in immediate danger. When officers arrived at the apartment complex, they went inside the building and saw a young man covered in blood standing in the doorway of an apartment near a large knife. There was no sign of the young woman who neighbors had reported was being attacked in the hallway. Instead of following officers' commands or stepping away, the man went back into the apartment and locked himself inside. Police later identified him as 21-year-old Tyreek Black. Officers remained in the hallway and tried to talk to him and calm things down from behind the locked door. During this time, they learned that a young child was also in the apartment. Because a child was inside the apartment, officers knew they could not wait. While some officers kept trying to talk to the suspect, another officer went to the side of the building, broke a window, and pulled the child out. The child was brought to safety and was not physically hurt, according to police. Eventually, the suspect unlocked the door. When officers entered the apartment, police said he fought with them, but they were able to take him into custody. Inside the apartment, officers found a woman suffering from multiple stab wounds. She was rushed to the hospital, but despite efforts to save her, she did not survive.
Police say neighbors at Fox and Woods Apartments called 911 shortly before 8 this morning, and when officers arrived, they found a man in the hallway covered in blood with a knife nearby. The man, identified as 21-year-old Tyreek Black, was arrested inside an apartment. There, police found a woman who was stabbed multiple times. While this was happening, police say other officers went to the back of the apartment building and rescued a toddler.
Another set of officers went around back to a window, smashed the window out, and luckily saved a young child, pulled him out through the broken window.
Police later identified the woman as Destiny Rumley, a 21-year-old mother. The Office of the Chief Medical Examiner later ruled Destiny's death a homicide. Police said Destiny and Tyreek Black appeared to be in a dating relationship and confirmed that Destiny was the mother of the child who had been rescued from the apartment. The child was later placed in the care of other family members. Tyreek Black was charged with murder, along with additional charges including assault on police, interfering with an emergency call, and risk of injury to a minor. As the case moved to court, the pain of what happened followed everyone into the courtroom. Family members and friends gathered in New Haven as Black appeared before a judge for his arraignment. For Destiny's loved ones, this was the first time they were forced to hear detailed descriptions of her final moments. Prosecutors told the court that Destiny suffered multiple stab wounds and that her child had been inside the apartment during the attack. They also revealed that Destiny had tried to call police for help, but the call lasted only seconds, and dispatchers could not clearly understand what she was saying. Prosecutors also stated that the suspect called 911 himself and told dispatchers that he had stabbed Destiny. Police said that when officers arrived, he had locked himself inside the apartment and later resisted arrest. As these details were read aloud, emotions in the courtroom became overwhelming. Some family members cried openly. Others sat in shock, trying to process the reality of what they were hearing. The weight of the information was heavy, and the room grew tense. When Tyreek Black was led out of the courtroom by court officers, emotions boiled over. Voices were raised, and a disturbance broke out among family members in the gallery. Court marshals quickly stepped in to separate people and restore order before the situation escalated further.
All right, so this is the arraignment of State versus Tyreek Nelson Black. Point to public defender.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, the public defender is appointed. Bail Commissioner's recommendation.
Your Honor.
I will indicate, first of all, it's an on-site arrest. I did read through the report, and I will clearly make a finding of probable cause for the crimes, including the crime of murder. But go ahead.
Your Honor, he has no criminal history. He is 21 years old. He is a lifelong resident. He reports that he is gainfully employed. He does report substance abuse and mental health issues. I do understand that he has no record. However, due to the nature of allegations, we will be recommending $1 million.
How much?
$1 million.
Thank you. State.
Your Honor, in this incident, the defendant is charged with murder. The defendant called police, said that he had stabbed the victim. He further said that it was a couple of times. When officers arrived, he refused to open the door and threatened the officers that he could stab them if they entered. There was a 3-year-old child present for this incident. The defendant fought with officers, and the victim suffered 9 deep puncture wounds. State police said the bond should remain at $2 million.
Counsel.
Thank you, Your Honor. As stated by Bill, Mr. Black is 21 years old, grew up in Hamden, Connecticut. He's been a native of our state his entire life. He attended school, graduated from ACES, and as stated, he has no criminal record. Your Honor, Mr. Black is truly a product of his environment, his upbringing. His background consists mostly of depending on state benefits, grew up in foster care, multiple ineffective DCF involvements. Lack of guidance and support led Mr. Black down the trail of mental health issues. He has multiple diagnoses, including PTSD, multiple stays at inpatient services, outpatient services, and many prior suicide attempts. Even though through all this turmoil in his life, he was trying. Prior to this incident, he was working part-time in Wallingford as a flagger. He had recently completed programs of treatment and was doing well. Mr. Black is also extremely remorseful for this incident. We ask that you take that into consideration when setting the bond for Mr. Black.
Well, he is 21 years of age. I guess he does not have any previous record. Is that correct?
No, Your Honor.
I mean, obviously, I read through the report. It is, I know he's emotional right now, but it's a very disturbing report to read when people are calling the police, indicating someone is screaming and asking or requesting help, and then he called actually the police and indicated, quote, "I just stabbed my bitch," close quote. The police were able to get the child, I guess, out through a window, the 3-year-old. He finally let the police in, according to the report. And I believe the defendant, even down at the station, did not disagree. She was calling the police because he had made an oral threat. And as a result of her attempting to call the police is when he admits that he took out a knife and he did stab her. It does indicate, as the state said, that it looks like there was a number of numerous wounds on the victim. The victim was alive when the police were there, but obviously she succumbed to these injuries. Also sounds like they had a prior relationship some time ago, and there was some attempt over the last few weeks, according to the defendant, to rekindle it. It certainly calls for a serious bond, a domestic homicide of someone. I'll set the bond at $2.5 million at this particular time. It's going to be transferred over to Part A. That's where the serious cases go, through 35 Church Street. I'm going to transfer it over there for January 14th. The bond is set without prejudice. Certainly, if you're going to get a public defender over there, they would have the right to argue the bond again over there. But January 14th would be the next date at 2:35.
The chaos in the courtroom reflected the depth of the pain left behind. Destiny's family had just learned that she tried to get help and that her child had been in danger. The grief was raw and the anger was impossible to contain. During the hearing, Black's defense attorney spoke about his background. The court was told that he had no prior criminal record and that he struggled with mental health and substance abuse issues. His attorney said he had experienced instability earlier in life and had recently been trying to work and stay on track. The defense also stated that Black expressed remorse for what happened. Those statements did little to ease the pain in the room. The judge acknowledged the seriousness of the charges and the irreversible impact of the case. Black's bond was set at $2.5 million, and he was ordered to remain in custody as the case continues. For Destiny's family, the legal process does not bring comfort. It does not answer every question. It does not undo the loss of a young mother or the pain carried by a child who will grow up without her. Destiny Rumley was more than a name in a police report. She was a young woman with a life still unfolding. She was a mother who loved her child and was trying to make things work. Her future was taken from her in a moment of violence, and the impact of that loss will be felt for years to come. Her story is a reminder of how real and how deadly domestic violence can be. It is a reminder that danger can escalate quickly, and that the moment someone tries to reach out for help can be the most critical moment of all. Most of all, Destiny's story is about a life that should still be here, a child who deserved to grow up with their mother, and a family left grieving a loss that no courtroom decision can ever truly fix. Rest in peace, Destiny Rumley.
This is an unreal, realistic reality for us in 2025. For our loved one not to be taken away in such a demeanor through domestic violence. She screamed for help. Her child was there. Now we have to end 2025 and mourning and grieving instead of celebrating 2026. So this is beyond heartbreaking. We have no words. It's just another chapter of mourning that we can't keep taking.
Was there a history of trouble between the two of them? We don't know him.
We don't even really know him. This is a shock to the family. Like, who is this character? Because you can't even call him a person. For someone of this horrendous act, you're not even a person. So it's a character. You're a made-up person.
And the fact that that little child was there?
We have no words on that. Now that he has to grow up with no mom. An absent mom, now that she's his guardian angel, we have no words to describe how we feel.
And what would be justice?
Life.
Yeah. In prison, the electric chair.
Besides life.
To feel what she felt.
Right.
For him to suffer.
Brutally attacked.
For you to stab her
brutally
9 times.
Stabbed her.
9 times.
What justice can we get? Even if he got life, no, seriously, what justice can we really get? We can't get our loved one back.
And that's what you want.
We would love to have her back. We would trade places. Don't ever love somebody that much that you have to take their life to show that you love them. You that anger. You have that much anger inside of you. Don't ever love somebody that much. Kill yourself. Don't kill us. Why we gotta suffer? What did we do as a family to you that we now have to take this every day?
What did she do as a...
Like, what? There's nothing that he can give as a reason for this. As a reason why now her mother tears gotta water the cemetery ground. What? There's no justice.